Right now, in the produce aisle of your grocery store, peaches are sitting at around $4 a pound. Figs, if your store even carries them, run $6 or $7 for a little plastic tray of 8. A single pomegranate, one piece of fruit, is about $3. Every week you walk past that aisle, and every week that meter keeps running. But here's the part that got me. Every one of those fruits grows on a tree that does not just survive brutal summer heat. It loves the heat. 95 degrees, 98, 105, and these trees keep right on making fruit while the rest of the garden is waving a white flag. Today, I am going to walk you through 8 of them. Every single one can live its whole life in a container on a patio or a balcony, and most of them cost less than $35 one time. And stay with me all the way to the end, because there is one thing the afternoon sun does in summer, not to the leaves and not to the fruit, but to a part of the tree you would never think to check. It is the #1 reason a heat-loving tree still dies in a hot summer, and the fix costs about $3. I'm Jake, though most folks know me as Backyard Buddy. 3 years ago, I was the guy who killed houseplants, and I once killed a cactus, which takes real commitment. Then, a bunch of green onion ends I tossed at the trash can missed, landed in a glass of water on the counter and sprouted, and I have not stopped growing since. I've regrown hundreds of plants from kitchen scraps on my windowsills and balcony. My grocery bill has dropped by nearly a third, and my neighbor Gloria upstairs, who has been growing food on her balcony for 20 years, still teaches me something new every month. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, because I thought all of it too. Fruit trees are for people with land. Fruit trees take 10 years. And whatever you do, you cannot plant a tree in the middle of summer. Every one of those beliefs is wrong, and that last one matters most right now. The old rule about spring and fall planting is for bare root trees going into open ground. A container-grown tree from the nursery going into a container at your place can be planted any week of the year because you never disturb the roots. And there is a bonus hiding in the calendar. By July, garden centers start marking fruit trees down 20, 30, sometimes 40%, because they do not want to water them all summer long. The tree you plant this month at a discount is the tree handing you fruit next summer, and a few on this list will hand you fruit this very year. But heat cuts both ways, buddy. Remember that thing I said the afternoon sun does? Every tree on this list shrugs off 100-degree air. Not one of them can shrug off what the sun quietly does to that one hidden spot, and almost nobody ever checks it. We will get there, I promise. First, let me tell you where I keep all of my beginner-friendly growing in one place. Everything I teach on this channel started with kitchen scraps, and I put the whole system into a book called The 30-Day Kitchen Scrap Garden Protocol: Zero Waste, Zero Experience, Free Food. It is 172 pages, written for absolute beginners, and it walks you day by day through 31 crops you can regrow from the scraps your kitchen already throws away, starting with nothing but a glass of water on a windowsill. That's the whole starting line. It includes the $10 starter kit, gathered mostly from things you already own, and full troubleshooting support for when a scrap decides to sulk on you. If a fruit tree feels like a big first step, this book is the small one, and the small one is how I started. It is $17 right now, marked down from $47, one time, against a grocery bill that keeps dropping every single week after. My own bill going down by nearly a third started with exactly what is in these pages, and I was the cactus killer. So if I can do this, I promise you can. Now go ahead and grab your phone and open up your camera, the same one you use to take pictures. Point it at that square code on your screen and hold it steady for a second. A little link will pop up, give it a tap, and it will take you straight to the book. And if you are watching on your phone right now, the link is waiting for you right down below in the description. Take your time. There is no rush at all. I'll wait right here. All right, buddy. Let's get to tree number 1. Number 1. The fig. If you only plant one tree from this whole list, make it a fig. Figs come from the hot, dry edges of the Mediterranean, so a 95-degree afternoon is not a hardship for a fig tree. It is home. But the part that makes the fig perfect for people like me, people with a balcony instead of a backyard, is stranger than that. A fig actually fruits better when its roots are crowded. Plant a fig in open ground, and it can spend years happily growing wood instead of fruit. Plant that same fig in a 15-gallon container, that is, 15 gallons, about the size of a big laundry basket, and the snug roots tell the tree to quit stalling and make figs. Plenty of container figs hand you fruit their very first summer. At the garden center, look for a variety called Brown Turkey, or Celeste, or Chicago Hardy if your winters get seriously cold. Any of those runs about $25 to $35. The care could not be simpler. Give it the sunniest spot you have. Push your finger 2 inches down into the soil. If those top 2 inches are dry, water slowly until it runs out the bottom of the pot. That is the entire routine. Now do the grocery math with me. A little tray of 8 fresh figs costs $6 or $7 at the store. A settled container fig can give you several dozen figs in a summer. So that $30 tree pays for itself in its first good season, and then it just keeps going, year after year after year. And if the fig is the friendly neighbor of this list, this next tree treats a 100-degree afternoon like a day at the beach. Number 2, the pomegranate. Pomegranates were being grown in desert heat thousands of years before anybody invented the garden hose. 100 degrees does not slow this tree down. 110 barely gets its attention. If you live somewhere with summers that make the evening news, the pomegranate was built for your patio. The classic variety is called Wonderful, which is the one behind almost every pomegranate in the grocery store. And for containers, there is a lovely, more compact one called Red Silk. Either one is happy in a 15-gallon pot. Again, that is 15 gallons, and bigger is always fine. In late spring, the whole tree covers itself in bright orange trumpet-shaped flowers. And I want you to know that even before the fruit shows up, this thing earns its spot on looks alone. Water it deeply, then let the soil dry out between drinks, because this tree genuinely prefers a little neglect to a lot of fussing. I will be honest with you about the timeline, because I always will be. Expect your first real fruit in year 2 or year 3. But when it comes, remember the store price. $3 for one pomegranate. A settled tree can carry 20, 30, even 40 fruits in a season. You can count that savings on your fingers and run out of fingers. And where the pomegranate is tough, this next one is the sweetheart of the list, and it does a trick no in-ground tree can ever do. Number 3, the improved Meyer lemon. This is the container tree, the one Gloria would tell you to buy first, and here is why apartment growers actually have the advantage with it. A lemon tree planted in the ground is stuck when winter comes. A Meyer lemon in a pot simply rolls indoors to a sunny window when nights drop toward freezing and rolls back out in spring. Put the pot on a wheeled plant stand, about $10 at the hardware store, and moving it takes 30 seconds. The Meyer is sweeter and thinner skinned than a store lemon, closer to a lemon crossed with an orange, and grocery stores almost never carry them because that thin skin does not ship well. So this is fruit money cannot easily buy. It blooms with white flowers that will perfume a whole balcony. And in warm weather, it can hold flowers and ripe fruit at the same time, which never stops amazing me. Care is the same friendly routine. Sunniest spot you have. Check the top 2 inches of soil and water deeply when they're dry. Feed it with a citrus fertilizer from the garden center following the label in spring and in summer. Store lemons run close to $1 a piece now, and a happy container Meyer can give you dozens each year, right through winter on a windowsill. That was garbage math I used to ignore, and now it's dinner math. But this next tree might be my favorite reason on the whole list, because it is the one fruit you truly cannot buy at any price. Number 4, The dwarf ever-bearing mulberry. Have you ever seen fresh mulberries at the grocery store? You have not, and there is a simple, honest reason. A ripe mulberry is so soft and so juicy that it cannot survive a truck ride. It has to be eaten near the tree, usually within a day. So for your whole life, the only people eating fresh mulberries have been people who grow them, and for the price of one dinner out, you can join them. The variety to ask for is called dwarf everbearing. It stays small enough to keep in a 15-gallon container. You can prune it to about 6 feet tall, and true to the name, it does not fruit in one quick flush. It gives you berries for months, from late spring deep into summer. It shrugs at heat. It is one of the fastest trees on this list to reward you, with fruit very often in the first year you own it. One honest warning from your buddy Jake. Those dark berries stain like ink, so park this pot away from light-colored patio furniture and off the fancy concrete. That is the whole downside. Sweet berries all summer, a tree tough as an old boot, and a harvest no store can sell you. Now hold that thought about the afternoon sun from the start of this video, because we are halfway through the list, and every tree still ahead of us loves heat even more than the 4 behind us. When I finally tell you what the sun is doing, you are going to walk straight outside and put your hand on your pots. Stay with me. Number 5, the loquat. If you have ever wanted a patio to look a little tropical without moving to the tropics, the loquat is your tree. It is evergreen with big, glossy, deep green leaves that stay handsome all year, and summer heat rolls right off it. But the loquat runs on a backwards clock, and that is its charm. It blooms in the fall when everything else is going to sleep, and it ripens fruit in spring when nothing else has fruit at all. The fruit looks like a small golden apricot and tastes like apricot and honey shook hands. The one thing a loquat asks is a gentle winter, because those fall flowers cannot take a hard freeze. If your winter nights regularly drop below about 20 degrees, that is 20. Grow it in a container and wheel it somewhere protected, a garage with a window, an enclosed porch, up against the house. Container growing turns a southern tree into an anywhere tree. Give it sun, give it that same 2-inch finger test before watering, and otherwise, leave it be. In a 20-gallon container, it will settle in and start blooming within a couple of years, and you will be picking fruit in a season when your neighbors are still staring at bare branches. Therefore, the loquat earns its keep twice, once as the best-looking plant on the patio and once at harvest. And the next tree might be the toughest all-around survivor I know, with one little surprise hiding in its flowers. Number 6, the pineapple guava. The proper name is feijoa, but garden centers usually label it pineapple guava, and this tree is close to indestructible. It takes 100-degree summers without blinking, and unlike a true guava, it also takes real cold, down to about 15 degrees, so folks far outside the Sun Belt can grow it too. The leaves are green on top and silvery underneath, so the whole bush shimmers when the wind moves. Now for the surprise I promised. In early summer, it blooms with pink and red flowers, and the petals of those flowers are edible, sweet, and soft, and I am telling you they taste like cotton candy. You can stand at your own patio tree eating flower petals like a kid at the fair, and the tree fruits anyway. The fruit itself comes in fall, green and egg-shaped, and the inside tastes like pineapple, mint, and pear all at once, another one you will almost never find in a regular grocery store. Care is as easy as it gets. Sun, a 15-gallon or bigger container. Water when those top 2 inches are dry, and that is 2 inches, same test as every tree today. Pests mostly leave it alone. Cold mostly leaves it alone. It is the tree for the person who says they kill everything. And remember, you were talking to a man who killed a cactus. But the next tree is the one that fools everybody at the store, because you have probably walked past its fruit 100 times and never known what you were missing. Number 7, the Huw persimmon. A lot of folks got burned once by a persimmon, bit into the wrong kind before it was ripe, got that furry, mouth-puckering shock, and never went back. So let me fix that right now. That was an astringent persimmon. The fuyu is the other kind. You eat a fuyu while it is still firm and crisp, sliced like an apple, and it tastes like honey and cinnamon decided to become a fruit. No pucker, no waiting, no guesswork. The tree itself is a heat-tolerant, easygoing thing that also puts on one of the best fall shows in the plant world, with leaves that turn flame orange while the bright fruit hangs on like ornaments. Give a fuyu your biggest container, 20 gallons if you can manage it, that is 20 gallons, and the sunniest corner you own. Water deeply when the top 2 inches go dry. Then practice a little patience, because your first real fruit generally comes in year 2 or year 3. Here's why the wait is worth it in plain dollars. Fuyu persimmons run about $2 a piece at the store in their short season. A settled tree can carry dozens upon dozens of them. That is not garbage math, that is groceries, and it repeats every single autumn for decades. One tree left now, and then the promise from the start of this video, the $3 fix for what the afternoon sun is doing to your pots. Do not go anywhere, because I saved the toughest tree in America for last. Number 8. The jujube. If every other tree on this list tapped out, the jujube would still be standing there, asking if that was all you had. Sometimes called the Chinese date, this tree has been grown for thousands of years in places where summer means 110 degrees, and it does not just endure that. It fruits in it. Drought barely bothers an established jujube. Poor soil barely bothers it. Pests and diseases mostly cannot be bothered with it, which means you will almost never spray anything, ever. The variety to look for is called Li, spelled L-I, which gives big round fruit. And the fruit is 2 treats in one. Picked fresh, a jujube is crisp and lightly sweet, like a small apple. Left to wrinkle and dry, it turns dense and rich, very much like a date, and it keeps for months in a jar in the pantry. Fresh fruit in summer, sweet dried fruit all winter, from one tree in a 15-gallon container on a patio. Water it while it is young and settling in, using the same 2-inch test, and after the first year or 2, it will honestly ask less of you than a houseplant. And I do not say that lightly, coming from me. So there it is, buddy. 8 trees that love the heat. But every single one of them, the fig, the jujube, all of them, can still die this summer in a container. And it will not be the heat in the air that does it. It is time I paid off my promise. Here's the thing the afternoon sun does. It does not attack your tree. It attacks your pot. Picture a dark plastic nursery container sitting in full sun at 4 o'clock on a 95-degree July afternoon. The air is 95. But that dark pot is soaking up sunshine like a car hood, and the soil inside it can climb past 120 degrees, sometimes higher. 120 degrees inside the pot. In the ground, roots live in cool, deep soil and never feel that. In a container, the fine feeder roots on the sunny side of that pot literally cook. And then comes the cruel part. A tree with cooked roots wilts, and it looks exactly like a thirsty tree. So we do the loving thing, and we water it more and more. And now the damaged roots are sitting in constant wet, and they rot. The tree that laughed at the heat drowns from kindness. Here's your test, and it costs nothing. On a hot afternoon, go press your palm flat against the sunny side of your container. If it is too hot to comfortably hold your hand there, it is too hot for the roots behind it. And here is the $3 fix. Shade the pot, not the plant. The leaves want every bit of that sun. The pot does not. Wrap the container in a piece of burlap or any light-colored fabric from the fabric store, about $3. Or set the pot inside a second, slightly bigger pot so a little gap of air insulates it. Or simply cluster your containers together so they shade each other's sides, which costs nothing at all. Gloria taught me this one, 20 years of balcony summers behind it, and it is the single difference between a container tree that thrives in a heat wave and one that quietly gives up. Nobody at the garden center mentions it. Now you know. And that is really the whole spirit of everything I do here. One small thing nobody tells beginners, explained plainly. And suddenly, the impossible thing is easy. That is exactly how I wrote the 30-day kitchen scrap garden protocol. 31 crops you can regrow from scraps your kitchen throws away tonight. A day-by-day plan for the first 30 days, the $10 starter kit, and troubleshooting for every sulking scrap along the way, all in the same walk-you-through-it way I just walked you through those pots. It is $17, down from $47 one time, and it starts paying you back at the grocery store the very first month. Now go ahead and grab your phone and open up your camera, the same one you use to take pictures. Point it at that square code on your screen and hold it steady for a second. A little link will pop up, give it a tap, and it will take you straight to the book. And if you are watching on your phone right now, the link is waiting for you right down below in the description. Take your time, there is no rush at all. I'll wait right here. So that is the whole lesson, buddy. 8 heat-loving trees, 1 container each, most under $35, and a palm pressed against the pot on a hot afternoon to keep every one of them alive. Tell me in the comments which of these 8 trees you are planting first and what state you are growing in, so I can see how far and wide this little balcony wisdom travels. I read every single one. And next time, I'm going to show you the grocery store ginger trick, how one $3 knob of ginger from the produce aisle turns into a whole windowsill pot of fresh ginger you can snap pieces off of for a year. Don't throw it away, grow it. I'll see you next time, buddy.